Well, a former Laker says he's coming back to coach his old team. Byron Scott spoke to us about his new job, and KCAL 9's Joy Benedict is live at the Lakers training facility in El Segundo with what the former Laker told us on the phone.
I'm John Sherva, Deputy Sports Editor here at the Los Angeles Times, and I'm joined by our columnist Bill Plaschke to talk about the latest coach in town, Byron Scott. Bill, is this a good move for the Lakers?
I think it's a necessary move. Is it a good move? It's probably the only move they could make at this point. This is a team that's in complete disarray. What's the one thing they want their fans to think about? They have no chance of winning in the next couple of years. They have Kobe Bryant to an onerous $48 million contract for the next 2 years. They can't get free agents. They can't, again, they're not going to win. They're not going to win a championship. So what can they do to remind people they're still the Lakers? Bring back an old Laker. Bring back a Showtime guy. Bring back a guy who they will at least, when he takes the floor at Staples Center in November, fans won't be chanting, "We won Phil, we won Phil."
All right, Lakerland, as we embark on our journey for a new coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, let's revisit a little bit of history to a dark time for us as I introduce to you all the worst coach in Lakers history, at least statistically, Mr. Byron Scott.
The Lakers might be closer to a new head coach. ESPN.com is reporting that Byron Scott has emerged as the leading candidate for the job.
So Coach Byron Scott, who played for the first decade of his career with the Lakers and returned to LA early around the Kobe Bryant era, he had took over as head coach for the Lakers back in July of 2014, and he coached for the period of 2014, I believe, to 2016. At the time, Coach Byron Scott, he had went 38 and 126 overall as a head coach for the Lakers. That's like a 23% winning percentage. This is actually the worst record by any Lakers coach in NBA history that have coached 50 plus games. The task given to Coach Byron Scott by the Lakers, in my opinion, was totally unfair. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, how you gonna kind of have the expectations to turn around a non-playoff contending team overnight with Kobe Bryant kind of declining? He's always gonna be a superstar, but he wasn't playing at that level at the time. And then you surrounded around a bunch of young, unproven pieces from D'Lo to Clarkson to Larry Nance Jr., Julius Randle, just to name a few. So in April 2016, the Lakers decided to fire Byron Scott as head coach after 3 consecutive missed years of NBA playoff appearances. Both Jim Buss and Mitch Kupchak, they did address the media, of course, and felt that it was in the best interest of the organization to make the change, and that this was strictly a basketball decision. Ironically, Jeannie Buss reportedly didn't know about the move, which just goes to show more divide between the two siblings at the time. To the public, Coach Byron Scott's players seemed to really enjoy him. Guys like Larry Nance Jr., he spoke highly of Coach Scott, who said he was a big fan of Coach Scott and he was really sad to see him go. Ramona Shelburne of ESPN.com, she reported that the Lakers had a team option for the next season due to performance incentives outlined in Coach Byron Scott's contract, but unfortunately for him, he did not meet those during his tenure, which pretty much gave that green light for the Lakers to kind of pull the trigger on the departure. The Lakers finished 21-61 in 2014-2015 and had a franchise worst record of 17-65 that past season. Coach Byron Scott found success early in his coaching career with the New Jersey Nets. If y'all remember, he had led that franchise to the NBA Finals, I believe, 2 times within his first 3 years in charge after spending some time as an assistant coach back with the Sacramento Kings. Byron Scott did not have not so good stops in Cleveland and in New Orleans, but did the Lakers really give this man a fair chance and an opportunity to grow? Did the blood, sweat, and tears that Byron Scott gave this team as a player not mean anything? Like, let's be honest. After the firing, I remember Coach Byron Scott, I think he locked in with Rachel Nichols, and he talked about how he was kind of surprised about the news of him being fired. He thought that he had one more year to go to try to build something special.
And they let you go last week, and you told Dan Patrick you were, quote, blindsided by that. And I was like, Byron, do you read a newspaper? I mean, how did you not know that this was up on the table?
You know, when you have conversation with guys, you take them for their word. And that's what I did, and that's what I did. Our conversations a couple of years ago was, this is a rebuilding process. It's going to take 2 or 3 years, and it's going to be very tough. Are you okay with that? And as I stated, I said, yeah, I'm okay with it. Are you guys okay with it? If you can deal with it, I can deal with it. And so when I said I was blindsided, I figured I at least had another year to get this thing turned around, and I was prepared for that and looking forward to next year. And then boom, that happened, and I said, wow, okay, that kind of surprised me, shocked me a little bit. And then
So like I said before, man, to ask Byron Scott to come into this struggling organization, man, who had just missed the playoffs, and expect him to turn things around with little talent, it really was suspect to me. However, at the end of the day, Byron Scott's lack of the ability to really get progression out of the young players for the Lakers, that really ultimately was his biggest flaw. And that's really what they are basing, his firing off of, him not being able to, develop those young players that he had. And that is definitely partially a role and responsibility of a head coach. So, if that was the case, I can't really disagree with that. Byron Scott did kind of respond to those allegations. He said that he's not always thinking about necessarily, developing the young players. He's always thinking about trying to win. He says, I'm always thinking about trying to win. The development part comes secondary to that. But in practice and everywhere and everything is where you really work on the development part. So, maybe his approach could be different, but at least he was being transparent on how he gives it up. And, unfortunately, it just didn't work out for him. And I don't think that he's a bad coach, because we done seen him do well. We done seen him do not so well. But this situation with the Lakers, it was just real unfortunate. And then to have this overall coaching record of, 23%, that's bad. In 2 years, that's really bad. And that's statistically the worst record all time by any Lakers coach, Darvin Ham included. Yes, Darvin Ham included. I think George Mikan had by a tenth or 100th of a point, had a worse record than Byron Scott, but Coach Mikan had only coached less than 50 games. So that's why he didn't qualify for that. Byron Scott coached, I believe, well over 200 games. So y'all let me know, Lakerland, what y'all thoughts is about Byron Scott. Do y'all think overall he was a good coach? Maybe not for our Lakers, but do y'all think overall with his experience, was he a good coach? And when you hear this story, do you think the Lakers made the right decision by him not being able to develop those young guys, even though they wound up being traded once LeBron came in? Like, comment, and subscribe, Lakerland. I'm Seven Mitchell with your daily Lakers story. Y'all let me know what your thoughts and opinions are. Become a member of the channel. We got exclusive member-only content, perks, prizes, giveaways, discounts on merchandise. Y'all already know how we coming for the purple and gold. Y'all stay safe until the next video. Catch you guys later. Smash that like button for the team, and we out. Peace. For the latest and greatest on your Los Angeles Lakers, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we appreciate the support. Follow us on social media at Lakerland Show, and join our Playback TV room for our free VIP access to our Lakers watch parties and, of course, the Lakerland podcast. That's playback.tv/Lakerland.